Welcome to the Mean Street Podcast with Brandon Benefield,
Hey, what is going on here?
Adam Howell,
Okay, I need 33 1/3 pounds of bacon.
Alfred Romero,
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm like a dumpster.
and Adrian Moss.
Let's do this!
We use the word revolution because this is a revolution.
Hold one, arm drag. Woo!
The millions.
That's the big wiggle.
Look at all of this crap in this ring.
Hold two, arm bar.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
That's right, yet another podcast about professional wrestling. Seriously, guys?
Making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 776 pounds, the Mean Street
Podcast.
Hold three, the moss-covered, three-handle family gradunzel. Two,
And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so.
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is the Mean Street Podcast. It's me, your pal, Brandon Benefield, aka B-Double, if you will, coming to you from quarantine once again, across the interwebs from my brothers from other mothers. I see A-Bomb2 Sweet. What's up, buddy?
Oh, baby. It's time to deliver some unbiased journalistic integrity. It's been 2 weeks since I've been on this mean street leading down to a dead end stop. And I'm here to silence the falseness by raising the standards for all of you meanies worldwide. Oh, yeah, baby. And to my south, Adrian Moss, how are you?
I'm good, but I prefer if you said to my dirty south because we keep it real.
That's what I said, dirty
in Bibb
south.
County. It's good, man. Good to see you guys. I miss you. How are y'all? How are y'all holding up during the quarantine here?
So far, so good. I can't help but notice real quick while Adam's messing with the light that you're rocking the Danny J shirt.
Actually,
Oh, I am. I'm wearing a Dame Jordan shirt because I think.
Wait, look what I'm rocking the Danny J shirt.
Oh,
yeah,
Are we all?
I totally got on too. How did this happen, guys?
Are we all rocking the Danny Jordan
I think
shirt?
so, man.
that's awesome. Well,
That's
do
embarrassing.
Come at a
know
better
that she has
time.
pro wrestling- I know that she has a pro wrestling tees store, right? Which is where this shirt is available, and
And this one.
also we have one from a Mean Street Podcast pro wrestling tees store. So check that out.
Yeah.
Danny, thanks for the check, by the way. Appreciate that. Did y'all get paid?
Wait,
No,
she's
I don't.
paying you to wear that?
What? No.
I literally have been personally victimized multiple times.
I keep on
Mine's-
thinking it says sodomized, and it
And see,
makes
mine
me
says
feel
mine says
weird.
Danny is trash, and mine I just got mine because it has that rad ass trash can on it that popped her in the head that one time. That
Yeah.
I watched again the other day, and it was like fucking brand new again. It was still funny. Like, it was great.
Because it just wasn't supposed to happen.
No.
and like she was mad.
She was
Like,
big
she-
mad, like
She
legit.
was thunder mad. And like I just remember seeing that. And I'm like, well, like like my reaction to that, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I hope she's okay, but my reaction was, that's pro wrestling.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a heel all the way. And she was.
And then she made money off of it.
I was gonna
That's
say
correct.
at least she played it up and made it into a whole thing, and they made shirts out of it, and people bought the shirts. Adrian, obviously, Adam bought one of the shirts. In fact, I
Well-
think Adam, you have one of my favorite pictures with Danny because you got a picture with Danny while you're wearing the Danny is Trash shirt,
Yeah.
and she looks none too pleased in the picture.
Well, I mean, she's a very stoic character. She expresses her love and care in different ways.
Oh, is that what it was? Is that what it was?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're all different types of personalities out there. We express love differently, and sometimes it's I'm an angry looking face, but it actually means like, hey, I like this guy. He's cool.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't she have she our like number one guest that we've had her on the podcast more than anybody else? I think.
I think you're right, and I don't know the numbers. Alfred is our statistician, and I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but he's our math whiz on the team, obviously, and he's not here tonight, unfortunately, as you can tell by if you're watching us as you can tell. He's not here. But real quick, since we're all wearing the Danny J shirts.
Is he at a quinceanera?
Actually,
he might be.
I think his wife is making spaghetti, but I think Alfred is actually the number one guest, because I think at this point he's less a host and more a guest.
He's gone from co-host to just like part-time guest or like occasional guest.
He's like the Steve Martin of the early SNL era. Like, he was never a cast member, but he was always freaking there doing cocaine.
Just like Alfred. That's classic. That's classic Alfred.
That blow's not going to sort itself, you know?
Yeah, right. No, I agree. But since we are all coincidentally wearing these Danny J shirts, we do want to give her a shout out. She was on AEW Dark this past week, taking on the resident alien Chris Statlander. So it was good to finally see her back. You know, the last time she was there was Dynamite back in November, and she took on Nyla Rose. So they finally had her back after all this time. And, you know, we've been talking about it the last few weeks. You know, we had Lee Johnson on last week, and they've had other SHW alumni on over the last few weeks. Lee Johnson, Alan Angels, the captain, Sean Dean. Alan Angels, by the way, not only did he go up one-on-one in a hell of a match with arguably the best wrestler in the world today, Kenny Omega, but then this past week on Dark, he took on Phoenix. Did you guys happen to see that match?
I did. It was a damn good match. I mean, but
yeah,
Phoenix brought it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I love it for Alan, because they're letting him actually get out there and do it and not just be one of these jobber matches or what we call enhancement talent matches. So he's not out there just getting squashed. Like, they're actually letting him get his shit in, as they say. So it's been very cool to see him out there, and I think he's raised a lot of eyebrows, turned a lot of heads by going like, who is this guy? Who's this Alan Eagles, as Jericho called him? But it's been very cool to see the former and current SHW talent showing up on the big screen.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool, and you know, there isn't a whole and just for full disclosure, I have not seen Dark. I hate that I missed it this week. I did watch Dynamite last night, and I was actually in the middle of watching Superpower before we came on to the oh yeah baby, the Mean Street podcast. But so far, that's a really good show, and that you know, there's not a lot of news going on, and I kind of sent a group text to the Mean Street podcast crew here of like kind of some discussion points, and we kind of agreed on just doing some individual personal highs and lows. And before we get into that, you're kind of touching on something that is kind of my bonus thought. I said we could have a high and a low and a bonus thought, and maybe I'll just go ahead and throw out my bonus thought, because, you know, who cares about an agenda. I'm having trouble enjoying Dynamite.
Really? I'm finding the opposite reaction has happened for me. I love pro wrestling. It is what it is. But as far as what's on television, I prefer Dynamite compared to anything else that's on. And that, to be honest with that, kind of even includes NWA right now.
Well, NWA is not really technically on, right? They're just rerunning, or they're showing shows that would have aired leading up to that pay-per-view a couple months ago, and then they did not air them initially because there was not going to be a show. And now they're going back and saying, well, this is a Superpower episode, which is what would have aired. So I guess
right.
So it's not going to make
Superpower it's 90 minutes long, so I'm an hour in right now, and it's solid. Camila's first match. It's great. It's just a great show so far, and I just realized how much I miss Power overall. I love everything about it. Rock and Roll Express, guys. Rock and Roll Express. I believe them, right? And that's why I want to get to the way I'm viewing Dynamite right now is like I believe Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson over what I'm seeing in Dynamite, and I think what it is like I see some of these wrestlers, some of these call-ups from the Atlanta area, the ABJs, and which are quickly becoming more than ABJs. They're becoming legitimate talent that they're utilizing. Guys like Sean Dean and Alan Angels. But when I see, here's the thing: is I'm a kayfabe guy. I'm a kayfabe fan. Okay, like we don't do kayfabe on Mean Street Podcast. We just don't. But when it comes to me enjoying pro wrestling, I have to have kayfabe to really to really enjoy pro wrestling. And NWA, they mix kayfabe and non-kayfabe really well, because you believe what's happening in the ring and on the microphone, but then you have those funny little tongue-in-cheek commercials that are like throwbacks to old 80s stuff, and it's kind of like, hey, you buy 3 waffles and you get 4 tire irons, and I'm the one who taught Shawn Michaels how to speak Carney. Stuff like that. Like, that's funny, and it's kind of like a nod, like an elbow to the guys who know, to the smarks, but then when I go on social media, and this is a Ep.082 sweet rant right here. So buckle up, okay?
It was weird hearing you say the word when I go on social media. I'm like, when does that happen?
Do what?
I said it was weird just hearing you say when I go on social media, because I'm sitting over here like, when the hell does that ever happen?
Yeah, social media is for people not like me. And
old man Howell.
So when I go on social media, I see these Atlanta-based talent, the ABTs. They just graduated. And they're talking about how good of an opportunity it is to wrestle Kenny Omega, or how good it is to be on TNT. Like, nah, like, freaking talk about how much you're going to kick that guy's ass. Like, that's what I want to see from wrestling talent. Like, we live in a world where a lot of people don't have access to cable and Dynamite. They might be wrestling fans, but they only see snippets on YouTube. They might watch Dark, but maybe their only opportunity to hear you and hear your opinion and see your character is on social media, and you're over there just like breaking kayfabe. Stop. Like carry your character continuously. And for me, when I go tune in and I see this person who was just like gushing over this opportunity on social media to their thousands and thousands of followers, and I watch them, like, I'm like, he's just a guy trying to make his way in the world and trying to get a paycheck, instead of he's a guy who wants victory. He's a guy who wants a championship belt. Like, what do you guys think about that? You track it with me? You follow?
Yeah, I'm following what you're saying, but to your point, and I know we've seen a lot of people that we know that are like that, like you described, but somebody who was just on Dynamite this week, Shug Dunkerton, who, AKA Pineapple Pete, as Jericho has called him, he did kind of what you're talking about over the last few weeks. He has pumped it up like, I'm not just happy to be there. This is my opportunity, and I'm going to show him who I am. He really pumped it up. Now, I don't know, you said you did or did not watch Dynamite this week?
I did watch Dynamite last night.
Okay,
yeah.
So you didn't. Then you saw the Shug Dunkerton match, which it was shorter than I thought. I almost wondered if it was going to be one of those like fluke matches where it ended up being like 1, 2, 3 Kid beating Razor Ramon, and like would Jericho go that far and put him over like in that fashion?
Look at the big brains on Brandon going back to like 94, 95.
And the way it started, I thought, oh man, this might actually be, holy crap, this might actually happen. And then, he let him get his stuff in really early on, and then he hit him with the Judas effect real quick, and boom, that was all she wrote. But I did appreciate leading up to it in the last week or two on social media, following Shug D on Twitter and Facebook, how he was kind of, to your point, really pumping up, not real life. Like, he was keeping the kayfabe, like saying, I'm going to go at him. I'm going to kick his ass. I'm going to, he wasn't just doing the whole, I'm just thankful to be on TNT, and, this is a great opportunity. Wait, Adam, tell us how you really feel.
That's how I really feel. And that's the thing is, like, if I were to rate like who keeps kayfabe the most by promotion, AEW is dead last.
Other than MJF, but that's about it.
Yeah, MJF is up there. But like as a whole, as a promotion, like All Elite Wrestling, it's tough for me because I think it's because I've always enjoyed watching Being the Elite, and so like I kind of know a little, like, but even that is kayfabe. But I don't know.
Sorta.
Yeah, it blends it, and I think that's a detriment to the business overall. And I know I'm starting to sound a little bit like Jim Cornette in my old age, but don't be confused by old age and wisdom. Okay, it's wisdom is what it is.
Old age and racism. I'm just saying, don't drop any like racial jokes at him because I'm worried
You're on
that's
your
where
own.
it's going.
I know you guys were looking at me to come save you, but I'm like, I'm not doing this.
No,
This
that's
is
not
the Brandon's going to dig a hole and Adrian's going to watch show.
that is not the point at all. The point is that like Jim Cornette was he was the one who coined the killing the business phrase about the Young Bucks, and of course they just continue to make money. But how the reason you want to keep kayfabe is for the longevity of the product. So right now, I just see whenever I see people, pro wrestlers, especially independent pro wrestlers, getting their time in, getting their shit in on TNT, on Dynamite. Whenever I see them gushing over on YouTube, I just see people trying to get a paycheck. I don't see people really helping the product, really pushing the business. I see people just like excited for the opportunity to get their 15 minutes instead of people promoting and progressing the product.
That's good. Did you did you happen to? I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I know we're talking about kayfabe and everything. Did you watch the Money in the Bank match?
No, what's funny is another part of my bonus thought was it's just hard, not only Dynamite for these kayfabe reasons, but it's been hard for me to watch pro wrestling in general. That's why I was excited to watch Superpower tonight. Go ahead.
That cinematic event was hard to watch, period. Like, I think Tom Segura's right. I think we're all retarded because that match was ridiculous. That like there was nothing good about that at all. Like it was just absolutely terrible. I couldn't even finish it, honestly.
Give me some detail.
It had me for part of it, and we talked about this on texting the other night, Adrian. But so basically, the gist of it was, did you hear anything about how it was going to be, Adam, ahead of time?
No. I mean, the only WWE news that I've heard over the last week or two was that Money Bank was going to be on, and that Becky Lynch is pregnant.
Yes.
So she's got the. Never mind.
Stop. Stop.
But I also did see where like this is the second Irishman that Seth Rollins put out of action. Finn Balor had won the championship.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I wish I wrote that one. That was nice.
You don't know how to write.
So anyways, the gist of the Money in the Bank match, they held the actual Money in the Bank match itself at Titan Tower in Connecticut, and they start on the lobby floor, and there's a ring on the roof, and then above the ring is the briefcase. And so all the competitors start downstairs and just fight their way up all the way up through the building and get to the roof, and that's where the match ends. Like the
raid on the raid, but in WWE. That's
yes, cool. But not good.
But on paper, it sounded kind of intriguing. That's the only reason I watched, because I was like, oh, that actually sounds kind of like it's something different. They're outside of the Performance Center, which is good, because I'm having trouble watching that. What?
Hang on. So was it like a cinematic, kind of like the Boneyard match?
Yeah, that's how it was filmed. Yes.
Yeah. So, but I felt like it could have been better. Here, what was weird was they decided to have both men and women's match like simultaneously, which they didn't explain they were going to do that ahead of time. It just happened.
Have you ever been with a woman, Forrest? I sit next to them in my home economics class all the time.
Home economics class.
So it was a boys and girls together match.
Well, so what was weird, Adrian, and you actually watched it. So Mossman, tell me if you caught this or not. It seemed like it might have been, I don't know if it was like a last minute decision, because when they did the introductions, Cole was specifically introducing the women, and they would introduce one woman and he would introduce them. And then they cut to one of the guys coming out, but there was no commentary. And then it would cut back to the women and Cole would introduce the next one, and then back to the guys and no commentary. It was very like disjointed.
It was awkward. It was just awkward to watch. It just looked like it was just.
It was the way like they teed it up almost seemed like Cole didn't know they were having the men's match at the same time. It just seemed very disjointed or something. It was very strange. And then as it went on, so as soon as he introduced all the women, the bell rang, and then there was no commentary throughout the whole proceedings up to the roof. And I thought, okay, if you're going to do that, at least once they get to the roof and then like start the actual ladder match, then bring the commentary back. But they didn't do any of that. At one point, they're fighting along, and Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles like spill into Vince's office. And then he turns around, he's at his desk, and he just gives him like a glare or something, get the hell out of here or something. And then he's like,
all the AJ spots to me were just god awful.
then he
They
puts
were just terrible.
He puts the hand sanitizer on and glares at him.
Did he really?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
just so cheesy. I mean, and we joked about how like the Boneyard match had some cheesy elements, but it was still kind of cool.
But I
Like,
enjoyed the Boneyard match. Yeah, it was cheesy,
Right.
but at the same time, it was entertaining.
Right.
This was just over the top, just ridiculousness. I mean, it was just not fun to watch. It was not entertaining.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
I'll go Adam. It was the worst wrestling match I've ever seen.
So Brandon, what is your take on the Money in the Bank match specifically from that pay-per-view?
It was rough, man. And I had kind of high hopes because, like I said, that was the only thing on the card that I thought, this looks kind of intriguing. I'm actually interested to watch because leading up to the pay-per-view, I've only been watching Dynamite every week. I haven't been keeping up with Raw and SmackDown. It's just too tough to watch when it's an empty arena. The way AEW's been doing it, where there's at least some sort of crowd, even though it's wrestlers or people that work there, whoever it is, there's at least some sort of background noise. And Jericho has been on commentary, so it's been fun to watch. On the other side, Raw and SmackDown, I have not been able to really keep track of. So the only thing that had me wanting to watch the pay-per-view was knowing that, hey, they're going to be doing this thing where they got to climb the building and end up on the roof. I'm envisioning like somebody doing like a John McClane Die Hard situation, which it's a missed opportunity. Somebody
that would have been awesome. I would have been like, oh, you know what? Okay, I'm back in. I
kept expecting somebody, like, I don't know who it could have been, like wearing like the wife beater and go, Hans!
That would have been a perfect opportunity for Dean Malenko if he was still with the company, because I've always thought that Dean Malenko looked like John McClane.
So I've got 2 words for you as to why they didn't. Owen Hart.
Why?
Dude, wrestling promotions will never strap on a rope and some carabiners and a harness every year.
Well, they didn't need to do anything like that where he like swings off the side. I'm just saying because
John McClane used the fire hose, okay?
I know this.
Fire hose.
Trust me, I'm very aware, but I'm saying like throughout the whole movie, he's going throughout the building. And if you watch this match, if you can call it a match, that's all they were doing was like in different parts of the building making their way up. And like somebody could have like broken some glass and been walking barefoot, some sort of nod that they could have done aside from swinging off the roof. By the way, speaking of going off the roof, Baron Corbin killed 2 guys and nobody said anything about it. He threw 2 guys off the roof.
That's correct. Yeah. I think Rey Mysterio dead. Is he one of the ones that didn't make it?
Yeah. And Aleister Black. And then they both showed up on Monday Night Raw and had matches as if nothing had ever happened. And I'm like, dude, they just got thrown off a roof last night. How does this make any sense? Well, you talk about kayfabe. You talk about kayfabe.
How's that for kayfabe?
I'm like, they're not keeping up with any of this. It doesn't make sense.
Well, hey. Trivia question. Who was the first wrestler to be thrown off the roof of a building?
No clue.
Mankind?
The Giant. Halloween Havoc, when it was the Giant versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan, where they started off in a monster truck sumo battle on top of the building. I think it was Halloween Havoc 96.
Okay.
And then eventually Hogan pushed the Giant off the top of the building. Of course, he showed up on Nitro the next night.
All right, so we've had that. We had Mankind. We had...
But where did Mankind fall?
That was actually
off the Hell in a Cell, man. What are you talking about?
That was the only one.
That's not a villain, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would call a building.
A villain. I was talking about just big. Well, I'll stop because I know what that'll end with. But I was going to say Animal. Animal was another one that got thrown off
structures, and I was gonna.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Let's. We can cut all this.
You're getting a little flush.
Here's the thing when it comes to doing the video versions is there's a lot less that gets cut because it's way too hard to do a whole lot of editing when we're doing the videos. So whatever you gotta say.
Here's my vote. Here's my vote is that the audio gets edited for the podcast.
Well, that's what I've been doing.
But the audio doesn't get this is the unrestricted.
Right. That's how we've been doing it.
So, which is bad news for Adrian.
Yeah, I'm over here like trying to sit on my hands and shit. Like, how the fuck am I gonna make it through this?
There you go. So let's transition into highs and lows. I know that I haven't been on the show in 2 weeks, and
Oh, it's been the best 2 weeks we've had. Actually, the highest ratings we had since we
that's not
started.
accurate.
So Alfred told me he keeps the stats.
Fake news, wrong. So what I'd like to get to is the highs and lows of kind of how we've been enjoying pro wrestling over the last couple of weeks, over the quarantine, maybe a couple of just one high, one low, because we've been going for about 30 minutes now. So Brandon, do you want to start?
Sure. Just overall in the wrestling world, what I think is a high and what I think is a low. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and what you've been enjoying, perhaps. It's pretty liberal rules here.
So the low, we kind of touched on this already, and we've kind of touched on it over the last few weeks, is the empty arena shows, and mainly the WWE versions, because I'm actually kind of enjoying the AEW versions. But Raw and SmackDown, like I said, and NXT, I have just not been able to sit through. Even when I watched the Money in the Bank pay-per-view the other night, during the matches that took place at the Performance Center, I was just zoned out, and I didn't really pay attention until they had the Money in the Bank match in the building at Titan Tower. So just overall, I appreciate the fact that WWE is giving us fresh content and trying to do their best to entertain the masses during this craziness during this pandemic, but it's just tough to watch. And I actually talked to Joe Black not too long ago, earlier in the week, and as a wrestler, I wanted his take on, what is your opinion on empty arena shows? And he kind of felt like I feel, but for his take was he doesn't like them. He did one when the pandemic first started. He wrestled for a company called Pro South in Alabama, and he said they did an empty arena show, and he said it sucked. He would never do it again. He said because it defeats the purpose. He said the reason they do it is for the crowd, for that crowd reaction, that emotion. And when you're in there and there's no crowd to feed off of, what's the point? And so I kind of agreed with him. He was kind of like me too, where he said, I do appreciate AEW, WWE doing shows, giving the workers work and then giving the fans something to watch. But that's been a low for me. It's just tough to watch.
Yeah.
A high is the fact that, we talked about a lot of our Georgia people are getting opportunities because of the travel restrictions and things of that nature. Since AEW is either based out of Jacksonville or they did a set of tapings in Norcross at the One Fall Power Factory, a.k.a. the Nightmare Factory. But because of the locations, a lot of our pals from SHW and the Georgia indie scene have been getting big opportunities and, getting to shine on a big stage. So happy for them. So I think that would be my high.
Yeah, those are man, I can totally agree with you there on the no crowds, man. That's what's making it tough for me to watch. I don't know.
It blows my mind with you it was saying that you can't get on the AEW train, because that, to me, that's the crowd reaction you get from the guys that surround the ring, to me, is the only thing that's been keeping me going.
That's the saving grace, in my opinion. That's the only thing that's saving it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think that AEW is doing the empty crowd shows better than WWE. I think that they definitely have a leg up there. I fully agree with that, but my thing is just the kayfabe thing that I'm having a difficulty with.
That's respectable.
Yeah. So yeah, those are some valid points, and I'm so happy to see the opportunity that's being had for these Atlanta-based talents. Danny Jordan, Lee Johnson. I hate that I missed that interview. And Alan Angels and Shug D. Like, man, it's freaking awesome.
Lee said to tell you hello, by the way.
Lee's the man, dude.
I'm just kidding. He didn't. But anyways, he did say hey to Adrian, though. That was a really good interview. It was a great interview, by the way. I don't know if you saw it or not, but yeah, I really wished all of you guys could have been there.
I wasn't on it, so I didn't watch it. Adrian, what are your highs and lows?
I wish I could say I had more highs than lows.
I bet you do Panama Red.
That's where Alfred is, actually.
Yeah, I imagine.
Down in Kokomo.
It's cool seeing it's kind of the same thing. See, it's cool seeing the Atlanta crew get some TV time and things like that. I like the fact that we still, even though it's not the best in my opinion right now, I like the fact that we still get to see wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of people that like sports ball that are just kind of shit out of luck. They don't have any way to be entertained with the thing that they love, but us, we still get wrestling, so that's kind of awesome. I think the most current
Yeah,
thing
yeah. Who's laughing now, sports ball guys?
yeah, stupid jocks and your stupid jock stuff you did.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think the most recent high for me was I'll be honest with you, I like the Becky Lynch announcement. I thought that was really cool. And watching, I don't know, Adam, or I think Brandon, I think you said you saw it, but I don't know if you saw the announcement video or not. But like when she relinquished the title to Asuka, I almost wonder if they didn't tell Asuka, because it seemed her reaction to Becky's message looked extremely genuine to me.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
And I don't know if that's what. Yeah, they did not. But the announcement was cool, but just seeing Asuka's face to reacting to Becky was really
when
cool.
she realized what she meant. She said, "I'm going to go be a mother," and she kind of was like, "Wait, what?" Oh,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, because I mean, I know they've all traveled together and
kind
of come up around the same time, so I know that was really cool for them. Lowe's. Oh, let me see. I said I wasn't going to talk about Alberto Del Repo.
No, if you want that to your low,
Hey, it's in the news, man. It's out there.
I know. I don't want to give that asshole any airtime for anything. So
what a scumbag. Let's just leave it at that.
To me, the worst thing has been just the withdrawal from going to live events. I'm getting tired of yelling at strangers. Like I really want to be able to yell at some pro wrestlers. You know,
it's so fun. Your high is a really good one, because I mean, so seldom does that actually happen in pro wrestling, where there's an announcement of pregnancy for a top billed female women's superstar, and here we have it. Honestly, I think this is the first time, isn't it?
So I think somebody at her level, Awesome Kong, who at one point was going by what was she called in WWE for a very brief run? Like, she was a big deal in TNA, and then she came to WWE, and at the time it was kind of like, oh, Awesome Kong's coming to WWE.
Karma or something like that.
That might have been it, but she was here like for a hiccup in WWE, and then I believe the reason she had to leave is because she got pregnant. But again, that was like on a much smaller level.
Right.
Other than that, I think this is the biggest thing. Yeah, biggest one.
So here you have Becky Lynch, who's arguably one of the biggest names, probably top 3, top 5, definitely top 5 names in WWE right now. I mean, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Undertaker, Seth Rollins, I guess.
The big dog. Hello.
What?
The big dog.
Hello. That was great. I don't know if that's so funny, but it was. But yeah, I mean, what history that is. So who knows what the future is for her, if she'll take, obviously her pregnancy leave, because I mean, you can't really wrestle when you're pregnant.
Probably shouldn't.
Yeah, probably shouldn't.
It's not a good idea. And the one drawback to that is, technically, if she rushed it, she might be able to come back for the Rumble, but I think she's gonna be gone for a solid 18 months. I think that she's gonna take some serious time off for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a millionaire, freaking take a maternity, take as much maternity as you want.
And I don't know if people know this, but like having babies will wreck a vagina. Like, it is not pretty. I've seen it 3 times, people. It's horrible. It's like a damn horse story.
I'll take your word for it. That's cool.
You ever seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It's not too far off.
Yeah.
It's pretty awful.
Hey, so I don't keep up with WWE. I think it's called WWE.
I still have nightmares, people. I still see it every time I close my eyes.
All right. That's quite enough. Quiet.
10 centimeters. 10 centimeters.
So on the FS1 WWE backstage, I haven't kept up with it. I believe it comes on Tuesday nights, and occasionally CM Punk is one of the co-hosts or whatever on the panel, whatever you want to call it. So apparently he was on it this past week, and I didn't see the show, but I saw where he a comment that he made about the Becky announcement to Asuka in the ring, and he said if he was booking it, that would have been the perfect time to make Asuka a monster heel. And like she could have been excited with the announcement, and then all of a sudden done the green mist.
Right in the gut.
Well, she does the she not that, you freak, but she does the mist, the green mist in the face, like
in the gut,
like green mist to the belly,
or whatever. Yeah, but anyways, I did think that was kind of funny.
It was right in the womb.
Oh, good Lord, man.
Man, wombs to go.
Womb with a view. Brandon's sitting there going, I wish I could edit this shit out.
Well, I'm trying to think like where we can cut it, but you know what? It's staying in. I mean,
Hey, it's in there, man.
Yeah, it's there.
Do go. All right, my highs and lows. I'm glad you asked.
I think we're out of time.
Adam,
Actually,
what are your highs and lows, Adam?
I think we're wrapping it up. We're out of time.
My high is NWA Superpower. I started watching it. It's so good to see wrestling like that I haven't seen with a crowd, and I love Thunder Rosa so much. I think like she's great. I think everyone's great. The commentary is great. I can't wait for NWA. Makes me excited for coronavirus to go away, so we can go back down to Georgia Broadcast Studio and see some pro wrestling, because that was just it for me. NWA is perfect. My low actually is sort of a low and a high, because it's going to end up costing me a lot of money. Okay. Because I've talked about Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, formerly known as Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, on the show before, because I discovered the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast YouTube channel, where I'd watch them like go hunt for wrestling figures. And like I'm a bit of a toy guy. As a matter of fact, I have the retro Ric Flair right here, which is going for like $50 on eBay. So yeah, you do this right here. I think you kind of.
You say that's Billy Graham.
This is Jesse the Body Ventura from his commentary days. He's obviously in his commentary gear, not at
clearly.
So anyway, I discovered the YouTube channel like a year ago, and then just recently I've discovered the podcast. They do these long form podcasts for like 2.5 hours. But it's entertaining, and they talk about pro wrestling. They talk about their lives as pro wrestlers. They talk about obviously wrestling figure collecting and just how lucrative it is for them. Like if you kind of get in the buying it and selling it and that sort of deal. And at the same time, in real world, Ep.082, your local pundit,
That's you.
For unbiased journalistic integrity. I've been spending a lot of time at home because I spend a lot of time working remotely. So I've been like redecorating and buying stuff and just getting all Martha Stewart up in this bitch. And so I've been doing that. I'm getting new furniture and everything else. I'm like, you know what? I think it'd be really cool to go full mid-century modern in my living room and then have like some wrestling flair. Like, so have like,
I get it.
Wrestling flair.
I know. I got it.
Oh, that's Ric Flair. I got it. Yeah.
And so like to have like that, because I have the retro ring, and so like it's just sparking, like their podcast is just sparking this like interest in like saying, you know, I think I want to get some like retro figures to get this like badass furniture going on, and then have the retro ring over there with like some old school Hasbros and some WCW Galoobs. So I hope you guys have time. Do you guys have time? I'm gonna run down like my initial list of what I want to get. So I want to get the Click fully in retro figures to go my retro ring. That's my first goal. So obviously Triple H should not have an original Hasbro figure, right? So I have to get the retro WWE figure for Triple H. Are you guys the retro figures? You know, they made them look like.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
So are you going to reenact the curtain call?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. How did you know?
I go ahead. Sorry.
And so then I'm gonna get the original Hasbro Razor Ramon, and then I'm gonna get the original Hasbro Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
And then here's the thing. Here's the kicker right here. Big Daddy Cool Diesel he never had an original Hasbro figure, but they released a Big
It kept
Daddy
blowing
Cool.
its quad.
What's that?
I said it kept blowing its quad.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they couldn't get the thighs right.
Yeah.
And so then I'm gonna get the retro Big Daddy Cool Diesel. And the reason why I'm going into this is because I know we have some wrestling figure collectors that are meanies. Jeremy Jordan, I'm looking at you. I know you're out there. He's a great guy. He doesn't have a violent bone in his body.
Nope.
Very good guy. Friend of the show. So that's why that figure of Kevin Nash Diesel is so important, is because he did not have an original Hasbro, so they gave him a retro WWE figure. So number 5 in the Click, you guys who know who it is?
I can't remember who all you named already.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Nash, Hall.
Oh yeah, so the kid, 1, 2, 3 kid.
1, 2, 3 kid. Okay, so he did not get a retro figure, but he did get an original Hasbro figure. So here's the thing: is today I was looking on eBay. It's this website where you can buy things.
Okay.
1, 2, 3 kid Hasbro figure out of the package goes for like $500.
What'd you get it for?
What's that?
What'd you get it for?
Well, I haven't got it yet. I haven't started.
I thought you found.
I feel like if you ran into Sean Waltman, you could just like straight up like barter with that cat.
I don't think he has these figures. I don't think he has enough money to buy his own figure.
I just thought you were ramping up to tell us you found like some killer deal or something. So I was excited.
No, but I'm announcing my endeavor.
Okay.
To get the click. That's my first objective is to get the click, the full click to get in my retro ring. And here's the thing is like I want the meanies to help me out. If you're out there and you see a 1, 2, 3 kid at like some your Abuelita's flea market, holla at your boy, and I'll Venmo you some Mean Street dollars.
Whose face is on the Mean Street dollars? Is it Alfred? It's Alfred, right?
What do you think?
No, he's on the peso.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mean Street peso. Gotcha.
What? Like it's the one Mexican of the group.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know why.
I'm the most Mexican looking one, and I'm not Mexican. Okay.
So I guess you'd be on the Mean Street rupee.
Is that what? Is that, I don't know what the fucking names use. I guess so. Yeah, sure.
All right. So my low is the fact that I'm about to spend a lot of money on some wrestling figures because I think it'd be really cool to have in my living room. And so the 1, 2, 3 kid, that is right now, that is my like, whatever it is, the thing that I really want. What's the idiom that they use? What's the idiom you use?
The white whale? I don't know. I don't know.
Like that's the.
The great
golden,
white buffalo.
The brass ring.
The
yeah.
I don't know.
I just hate it for you that it's the 2-time Hall of Famer Sean Waltman.
I know. So that's the thing is like that figure sucks. I don't know if you know.
Sure it does. Why is it so expensive?
It's this wrestler that does this pose. So there were like at least 3 wrestlers that had this pose, and I'm going to reenact it because we have video.
First of all, you keep showing off your newly formed muscles here.
And so Ric Flair, the Hasbro Ric Flair, Ravishing Rick Rude had this pose, and 1, 2, 3 kid. And so you pulled this arm back, and it sprung forward, and it's the dumbest figure. I don't like that figure. But anyway, I want it. So
but it'll complete the set, yeah.
So if you have a 1, 2, 3 kid out there, and you want to hook up your boy on the Mean Street podcast, hit me up with some Mean Street pesos.
Yeah.
Or Mean Street rupees.
So that's those are my highs and lows, Brandon. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, I'm glad I asked too. Except I didn't ask. But anyways, no, it's good to know. I'm glad we found out. It's good.
See his face.
Also, ladies, A.Bomb.2 Suite is totally available, and he's got this awesome pad with all these sweet wrestling figures.
See, that's the goal, though. If you could find a lady that is like into all that, then you've hit pay dirt.
So I wonder if our sweet Diana's into that because she was totally rocking a Mean Street.
By the way, yeah, we want to
amazing.
Shout out to Diana Michelle. She's the lovely ring announcer for Southern Honor Wrestling. No offense to Pat McDermott or Jonathan Feltner or former ring announcers. They're good looking as well.
And A-Bomb, I know how you love brunettes named Diana. So because I know you still got that Wonder Woman.
I'll always have that Wonder Woman thing.
Yeah.
Dude,
Adam, did you see? You don't get on Facebook, so I don't know if you saw the picture. Do you know what we're talking about?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Okay, yeah. So she was rocking the MSP shirts. So hey, anybody else out there, be like Diana and ProWrestlingTees.com/Mean Street Pod.
But guys, that's my test. I have 2 tests, and I'm gonna leave you with this. Number 1, if you really want to show a woman what's up, have wrestling figures in your living room. Okay, it tells her who's in charge. And number 2, first date, order buffalo wings. A lot of people were really scared about it. A lot of people were insecure about it. They're not confident. A-Bomb.2 Sweet, buffalo wings on the first date.
You were very clean when you eat buffalo wings too. I gotta admit, you have a very, very precise technique in doing it.
I
Go
can
ahead.
wear a white button-up shirt. Order buffalo wings.
I eat buffalo wings like
No
Andre
problem.
the Giant used to eat buffalo wings. Like I'm shoving them down my gullet, bone and all.
You eat buffalo wings.
you eat the bones?
Buffalo wings the way the T-Rex ate the lawyer in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Oh man.
All
But
right.
you know what, Adam? At least you order buffalo wings that have bones in them. You don't just get like the chicken nuggets.
Well, you know what they say. They say if you order boneless wings that you close the refrigerator with your hips.
I do when I'm cooking. Whoop.
Brandon orders boneless wings.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah.
also moans when he wipes his own ass. It's amazing.
It's a good. If you haven't wiped in a while, it's like really itchy though.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, it feels really good.
This quarantine has got to end, people. Open it back up.
We have been inside too long. Oh yeah, are we wrapping it up? Is that it?
Let's do it.
When we start talking about buttholes, we gotta go, dude.
Ask him!
Hey, I got you.